I just wanted to give you one of the experiences I had while I was down in Utah. This one is about the experiences that we have that really are helpful and beneficial for having and reviewing affirmations on a regular basis. One of the things that I have on my affirmations, I have a whole section on clothes and what I'm wanting to create for myself, the experience I'm wanting for as long as I can remember. When I walk into a store that is not Walmart. I mean, I have had this experience when I've been in a Target even. When I'm in a place where I feel like they have somewhat nicer clothes, and I am not talking about like super expensive places. I mean, we're talking JCPenney's, Mervyn's, Kohl's, Target, any place that's basically not Kmart or Walmart. Those are the two places where I've not experienced this. I have in the past had this feeling of I don't belong here and I'm not good enough for stuff that comes from these places. And so that has been shifting for me. And so I have this whole thing about, different things in my experiences for having clothing that I love, clothing that is honoring to me, that I can get really good use out of. Thrift stores I've been good with, go figure, but even there's some consignment shops I've not felt comfortable at, like I don't belong there. So one of the affirmations that I had that came into play with me while I was down at a thrift store in Utah was, I experience prices for the things I want to buy to be delightful or fully worthy of the quality of the item and feel happy to pay the asking price. So I was at a thrift store down in Utah and I found these really super cute sandal shoes that were basically, I mean, I don't know that they were brand new, but they had very little, if any, wear on them. And they were asking $15 for them at a thrift store. And I was like, I'm not paying $15 for them. That's like not even okay. And this is a thrift store, not a secondhand consignment shop kind of a thing. And I just thought it was outrageous that they would ask that kind of money at a thrift store for a pair of shoes. But they were super comfy, they were super cute, and I would get a lot of use out of them. But there was no way in that moment that I was willing to pay for it. So I'm like going around and I'm looking for different things. I had need for some pants and I was hoping to find some, which I did not. But it was interesting because the thing that came up for me was this affirmation. And it got me going through things in my head about, I sit here, I want to have this experience, and is this that experience? And I thought, you know what, those shoes is like, I know that those are super high quality shoes. They'd probably cost at least $100 if I were to get them brand new. They're very high quality, they're incredibly comfortable, and they fit me just right. And so what was my hiccup with getting those shoes? And the hiccup was the fact that they were at the thrift store. And when this idea came back of being fully worth the quality of the item, and when that became my focus, I realized something. It didn't matter that they were at a thrift store. The fact that they were only asking $15 for this pair of shoes that I would get really good use out of, that would probably last me a long time and be super comfortable and super cute, was it worth $15? And in a heartbeat, I had this total shift. It's like, yeah, totally worth $15. And then I went into this, but I don't feel like I can afford to do $15. And I went into this conversation with, do you trust me or not? And I consider that a conversation with my maker. Do you trust me or not? This is something that you have been wanting. You have been wanting to be supported in this kind of a thing. Are you willing to trust me or not? It's here for you. Do you trust me? And in that moment, I'm like, well, yeah, I always trust you. And it's like, then let me worry about it. And so I made a decision in that exact moment. Okay, fine. I will go back. If those shoes are still there, they will go in my basket and I will buy them. And I will not even think twice about it. And I will just take care of it. I am not even kidding you. I had no sooner got the shoes in my basket and gone to try on the handful of clothes that I had actually found, wanted to see if they fit, how they looked on me, that kind of thing. Then I got a phone call from my husband, and we have like a lot of money tied up in some contracts that is being held up by the Apple Store with some things going on there, and then there's also some other things going on that we hadn't been paid for invoices yet. And so my husband calls me. He's like, "Guess what? Guess what? We've got this thing with Apple resolved." And immediately I'm like, "Wow, that did not take but 2 seconds for my maker to be able to prove to me in my way that felt right for me that he was going to take care of this. That he's trying to support me. This is about me letting myself be supported by divinity." And so then after he told me that that debate and dispute with Apple had been addressed and that these contracts were going to be able to get finished, he also told me, "And I got a contract for this, and I got paid for this, and I got paid for this." And so it was almost like this rainfall suddenly of this income that had been like tied up and been kind of anxiety-ish, and just that concept of, I was so grateful that I have been reviewing and writing these affirmations of what I want to experience, how I want that experience to be for me, and that I am being tutored by divinity into how to allow myself to receive that support from my Heavenly Father and Maker. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. It was something that was one of the things that was on my list of things I wanted to talk about and share. So yeah, writing affirmations and then reviewing them every day makes a huge difference. It really, really does, because it will show up for you to show you where you're blocking yourself, where this isn't something that's happening to you. This is something that we create within ourselves. If I was creating that barrier, I was the one that was in my own way. And that's one of the things I have found, is that this has been fantastic to help me get out of my own way. So I want to encourage you to write your affirmations, be very specific, be very detailed with them. What is it that you're wanting to experience? How do you want it to feel? Keep it all on the positive side. But it will bless your life, because it will show you where you're getting in your own way, and it will help you move through that so that you can allow yourself to receive the good and all the things that it is that feels like it's being blocked and kept for you. You guys have a great night. I hope everybody sleeps wonderfully, and I will check in either tomorrow or Thursday. I'm honestly not sure, just because I've got Cub Scouts that I do tomorrow, and I am not ready for it. So, oops. Okay. Good night. Love you all. Bye.